Hi, my name's Sue Ellam, and I'm a tarot reader and have been for 24 years. And also, actually, 25 years. I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which are based on Greek mythology.
And I'm Carrie Beleno. I am an intuitive Reiki master teacher for 20 some years as well, and a spiritual life coach. And we are here to help guide you through this transitional time we're in right now. So we switched it up a little bit. I'm going to go first with the question. If you want to see the full explanation about why we are switching this around, check yesterday's episode, and it's the one about crystals and essential oils as spiritual tools, and that explains why we're switching things up. So today's question: what if there is a fear of intimacy? So mind you, I wrote the questions, but I put them in a bucket 2 months ago, so I haven't sat with these questions at all. So what I'm going to tap into is my gut instinct, which is my intuition, which is your higher self. So the first thing that kind of screamed at me with the intimacy question is it really comes down to self-love. We live in a culture that judges everything and everyone, and you all know that right now. But we are really quick to judge ourselves as well. And if you find yourself judging others, I'm going to ask you to take a pause and reflect on judging yourself, because the fear of being close to someone else is often driven by the inability to feel comfortable with yourself and to feel that you love yourself and that you're worthy of love and that you make mistakes and that you can forgive yourself for those mistakes. And all of those thoughts, past thoughts, forward fears, regrets, all come into play when we are trying to nurture a new relationship or exploring what a new relationship looks like, or taking the next steps in a relationship is often a self-reflective moment. So if you've been judging yourself, I always call it leaving yourself at the bus stop. If you have left yourself up at the bus stop, go pick yourself up, take yourself by the hand, and tell yourself that you have done the best you could with what you've had to work with in the moment. And understand that no one's perfect, nor should we be, and that the regrets, especially relationship regrets that you have had in the past, are there to help you become this new person and to squash the fear of things happening the same way they always do. Because when we believe there's a pattern, we make the pattern. So believe in yourself, believe in your worthiness, believe that every single person is meant to find love in some way and to share that love, because we are not meant to be solitary creatures. We are not meant to be isolated. That's why this quarantining scenario is driving so many people crazy. And use it for a moment of self-reflection.
Hey,
over to you.
Thank you. Let's see what the cards have to say about fear of intimacy. Okay. Starting off here with the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is all about the mental process. So the fear of intimacy isn't so much a physical process as it is a mental one. Thinking that you're not beautiful enough, you're not, again, deserving enough. Because if you follow what your your body, your physical is telling you. It's going to tell you, especially if it's kind of physical intimacy with a significant other, you know, your feeling will be that it's right. And even, you know, I think they say in the kind of in the moment, nobody cares you've got 2 club feet, you know, you've just really, there's this kind of feeling of belonging, this feeling of being part of somebody else. If it is a kind of a true relationship, I think some of the fear of intimacy is about the of not having a mental connection with another person as well. There's got to be some other connection other than just the physical as well, because otherwise you don't feel safe. And if you have a fear of intimacy, it's about not feeling safe with someone else. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a sexually based thing. There's a lot of elements of intimacy, of feeling safe with somebody to tell you your innermost secrets, your thoughts, how you're feeling, or telling them things that you really wouldn't want anyone else to know. So I think we're in a very sexually based society. So intimacy automatically takes on that kind of connotation, but it is allowing somebody inside your head, inside your heart, and you know, on a non-physical way as well. So this needs to come to an end. You know, the way we think about our bodies, and you know, maybe we're not as pretty as somebody else, and so they're more deserving, and all these sorts of things. It has to come to an end, because when all's said and done, it's our hearts that shine through, and it's not about how beautiful you are, that there's this kind of, you're suddenly, if you improve what you look like and you do all these different things, you're suddenly going to get rid of this fear of intimacy, because it doesn't work that way. It has to be a feeling of self-respect, of loving yourself. And different people have we're all born in our current guises for a reason, and we have to get rid of this mentalizing about it, which is really a relatively new thing. You know, it didn't go on 200 or 300 years ago, but now we've got this social media and stuff like that, and there's just so much out there which is terrifying people, making them feel worthless. So I think I read the other day that there's actually less children being born and less sex going on, and I bet you anything it's a lot to do with this mental aspect. You know, will they love me, you know? So I think there's an awful lot that has to be ended. It is the end of an era, and we need to look beyond the physical. You know, look into someone's eyes and you know if there's a connection. And once you've got that connection, then you start to see the real person, and it doesn't, the outside doesn't matter. It's what's in their hearts, it's what's in their souls. That's what matters, and this is what we need to get back to.
Tell us the name of that card.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the World card. Thank you for reminding me. We've now got the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about your intuition. Follow your intuition. And we're going back to this intimacy. Don't get intimate with people just because they happen to be the most popular person around, or they have money, or they have lots of the kind of superficial stuff. Listen to what your intuition is telling you, and then you will attract people to you that you can be intimate with. You will attract friends that you're on the same page. You can you know, I've got some friends that I can tell my innermost secrets to, and I know they're safe, you know, and you will attract a significant other that connects with you. But I think there's just, everything is so, it's fragile, really, because people are getting into relationships for all the wrong reasons. And when they get into a relationship which isn't based on mutual love and respect, then ultimately there's rejection. Or maybe you're dumped, or maybe you dumped someone else, or you find your friends aren't reliable, aren't trustworthy. And then there's more fear of intimacy, and it becomes, you know, like a snowball, gets bigger and bigger as it goes down to the bottom of the hill. So the only way to really conquer this fear of intimacy is following our intuition, and that will guide us to the people who will bolster us up, make us feel wonderful, make us feel beautiful, make us feel safe. So it is very much about intuition, and then we will have lots of opportunities ahead of us, and we can make our choices, you know, who we want to be friends with, who we want to have a relationship with, and who we don't, but not spreading ourselves so thinly. Just concentrate on a few, but I think following our intuition, being very clear that we want to conquer this fear of intimacy, because it can be a real stumbling block in our lives generally, because it's all this lack of trust, and that kind of sets up barriers. So this card, the Seven of Cups, I think, yeah. Sorry, I've got to get used to this. So I'm dotting back to the Ace of Swords, saying, make up your mind that you don't want to be fearful anymore. Realize that you're born in your current form for a reason, and then work on your self-worth of how you feel about yourself, and then turn the page, follow your intuition, let it guide you to the people who will respect you, who will love you just the way you are without wanting you to change. So those are the cards.
Comparable messages. So please like, share, and subscribe.
And it's that's bye from me.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Nothing more to say. Okay, yep. Bye.